What's up, y'all? Happy last day of March. Hopefully you can hear me because I just recorded this video and when I went to review it, it didn't have any sound. Mercury is definitely in retrograde. But anywho, I don't want to talk about that. I came to talk about the month of April. For the month of April, and let me introduce myself just in case you don't know. My name is Jackie. I am the CEO and founder of Spice Pole and Aerial Fitness. And I am coming to you on this beautiful day to talk to you about our theme for April and the intention for our movement practice in the month of April. So we'll be focusing on renewal, rebirth, and growth the month of April. And I know for some of you, you're like, girl, this is pole dancing. Get over it. Like, this is not some spiritual awakening. This is pole dancing. Well, I'm so glad you mentioned that because what we believe at Spice and what I believe really makes our space super special is that I embrace movement as a way to continue to develop and become a better human being. And for women, a lot of times we're so bogged down with giving to everybody else, whether it's at home, whether it's on your job, whether it's in your social circles, whether it's in your sorority, whether it's in whatever other thing that you do, you're giving. And I meet so many women that are like, that's my love language, giving. That's my love language. And I'm like, that's great. But who gives to you? Giving to yourself is a form of self-love. It is. Practicing movement, practicing something that's challenging, that challenges your body, but also challenges your mind. That is a self-love practice. And for those women that say, oh, I just love giving so much. I just give, giving to others. I can never give for myself. I ask them, okay, so what happens when you die? Prematurely, because you're stressed out, burned out, you're tired. What happens when you're not my light about to fall. Hold on. What happens when you're so burned out you can't give anymore? What happens when your body is broken and you can't give anymore? If you're that important to the community, baby, you need to be investing in yourself, period. And I believe that any movement practice is great for that. But what makes pole and aerial dance so special, and especially at Spice, we designed our program with women in mind. So we are a women's only studio. We can't discriminate legally, but everything on our website, everything in our emails, everything on our social media is like, we serve women, we serve women, we serve women. Because that's the experience that we have. All of our instructors, we understand, we get it. We know what it means to say I'm a woman and the challenges that come along with that. And so this isn't just about learning some new skill and finding something fun to do. It's about transformation. And so, so for the month of April, that's why we're talking about renewal, rebirth, and growth. I wanted to just come here really quickly and give you guys 4 tips on how you can embody those things. And if you've never heard embodiment, or if you've heard of embodiment, but you don't really understand what it means and how that relates to your movement practice, or just your practice of living life every day, when we talk about embodying things, a lot of times for example, you hear the word renewal. It's like, oh, okay, I am renewed. I'm refreshed. I'm, whatever. That's great that you can say it. That's great. You can think it. That's great. You can write it down in your journal and visualize it and all that stuff. But if you are not acting like physically your body is moving in a renewed sense, like you, at a certain point, you've got to move your body to meet the mind. You ever met somebody, and I'm a Christian, so I'm going to use Christianity. You ever met somebody who like got baptized or whatever, they got saved, and it's like, yeah, but they still act the same. You heard that? They act the same. The way they act is how they move, how they interact with people, how they talk. It's about action. It's not about, if they were just sitting there, we wouldn't have anything to say, right? We are looking at how they're acting, how they're moving, how they're being. That's embodiment. Right? So when we talk about renewal, rebirth, and growth, yes, we want you to think about those things. We want you to think about what those things mean and what that means for you on your growth journey. But we also want you to actually act on those things and to create that movement of renewal, rebirth, and growth in your dancing when you're at the studio this month. Got it? All right. So I have 4 tips for you on how you can embody those renewal, rebirth, and growth items for the month of April. Tip number 1, embrace emotional release. Allow yourself to feel and release any emotions you've been holding on to. Visualize these emotions leaving your body and being replaced with peace. This creates space for new positive energy and growth. So one of the things I always talk to my students about and instructors, I'm like, don't leave the confidence, energy, all this good glowy, ooey gooey stuff in the studio. Don't just leave that in the studio. Guess what? We don't need it here. The studio is just a building, right? We don't need that to stay here. We need you to take that energy, harvest it, and go out into the world and be great. So one way I practice embracing emotional release outside of the studio is when I'm doing my job. I work in sales. And if I have a hard sales call, or let's say somebody says like, hey, I'm not interested in your services, right? They hang up on my face, hang up on me, right? Well, we're in 2025 now. They hung up on me. Sometimes I feel rejection. I feel that same feeling I felt as a little girl when all the other little girls were getting Valentine's Day presents and I didn't, like they all got little chocolates and cards. I didn't get anything. I feel that, right? And so that same thing happens in the studio where you might see somebody get a move. You've been working on your invert for 6 months and some new girl comes in and she done got into the invert, busted into a leg hang, and it's her second series. Like, how did she get this? How? Why did I get it? So it's easy for us to like lean into the negativity, but I want you to see the emotion, feel the emotion, say, hey girl, what's going on? And then release it. Release that emotion. Because those types of things, that negativity, you'll dwell on that, right? And you'll start to actually not enjoy the experience because your little girl is now triggered. Yeah. So embrace emotional release. Yeah. And sometimes I think the more common example in the studio is fear, right? We don't want to be judged. We know we're not going to the Olympics, so we don't want to look like we're doing too much. Release that. Release that. This month, I want you to dance to your highest ability. Embrace emotional release. Any negative emotions around who you are and what your movement practice is, baby, I want you to release that. Okay. All right. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2, plant intentional seeds. I'm going to give you guys an example. Let's say I look out at my backyard that is bald. I've just got some grass, no flowers, no plants, no nothing, just a bunch of grass. So I'm like, I want to make this thing look beautiful. So I drive down to the Home Depot and I say, give me some seeds. And the helpful Home Depot person, shout out to Home Depot, says, all right, I got you. And they bring me some random bag of seeds. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. And I put the seeds in the bag. I pay for them. I drive back home and I go outside and I just throw the seeds in the backyard. And then I go upstairs and I take a nap. What's going to happen to those seeds? What's going to happen to me? How is that going to work out? It might work. It might. But probably it's not going to work. Why? Because certain seeds need certain type of care. Certain seeds create certain type of plants that need different sunlight, that need different space, that need different nourishment, that can't be around certain type of insects that won't grow in a specific environment. So I use that example because, guys, I want you to be intentional about your goals. I want you to be intentional about what it is that you want in this life. And when you are planting the seeds, those seeds are what you say out of your mouth. Those seeds are the people that you spend time around. Those seeds are the decisions that you make that create the habits that form your lifestyle, your day-to-day way of being in life. So guys, I want you to think about just think about what do you want? You just taking it day to day? What do you want this year? What do you want next year? What do you want next week? What do you want? And just be intentional. Same thing with your movement goals. What do you want? If you really want to be great, like I've met some girls, they're like, yo, I really want to be great at this. I want to potentially compete. I want to potentially perform. Let's go. But take it seriously. Don't pretend that it's just something I want to do. Or for a lot of you that may not want to perform or may not want to become a full-blown pole star or whatever, you're like, hey, I want to come in here. I want to develop my femininity. I want to be more confident. Plant those seeds. Don't be that person. I was talking to a woman one time and she was like, my daughter is not confident. And I was like, man, well, I hope she grows into that. And she was like, confidence is just something you got to be born with. And I was like, sometimes it be your own people. That's the biggest ops. I was like, wow, this woman really just said her daughter will never be confident. That's what it sounded like to me, because you just got to be born with it. No, you don't. You can develop confidence. You can develop your self-worth. You can develop your femininity. But guys, you have to be intentional about it. So yeah, be intentional. Connect and aligned. Strengthen connections. Strengthen connections with supportive individuals in your life and with your inner self. Surround yourself with those who encourage your greatness and celebrate your progress. Dance with a sense of connection to both yourself and the community. One of the things I absolutely love about our space is it's kind of close quarters, right? Like our studio isn't huge, so if you're in a class with 12 other women, you're in class with 12 other women. It's not like I can see you, you can see them. And one of the things that I really wanted to honor in 2025 is community. There's a lot of women that are feeling like their communities are being taken away from them, that their voices are being taken away from them, their rights are being taken away from them. And I want to make sure that we are supporting each other on our journeys, both in and out of the studio. And that requires trust. That requires communication. That requires vulnerability. It requires us to actually show up and connect with others. You can't just be a wallflower, you've got to show up and you've got to celebrate other people. And I promise you guys, when you put that energy out, that energy comes back. So make sure you connect and you align with the people that align with the things that you want. And the way you find out if they're aligned, let me bring my microphone closer. You talk to them. You find out what their name is. You find out what they do for work. You find out who they are. They're not just your pole sister. That's a woman. That's a whole other woman that has a whole life outside of pole. Find out pole and aerial dance. Find out what that life is and see how you can support her. I put my microphone down. All right. Last but not least, celebrate growth and change. Reflect on how you've grown, acknowledge your progress, celebrate your resilience, embrace change with open arms, dance with confidence and joy, express your evolving self and embracing your full potential. So important. So important. I'm going to leave you guys with this. I'm not going to ramble on too long, but I remember I started doing pole dance long time ago, and I would record these videos. And because my video didn't look like the pole stars video that I saw on Instagram, I would just, not good enough. Push it to the side. I would never post it. Didn't even want to look at it. Never told anybody about it. And now, 10 years later, I'm getting these updates on my phone. Remember this? Remember this thing from 5 years ago? Remember this thing from 10 years ago, 7 years ago, 8 years ago? And it's shocking to me because I'm like, dang, I cannot believe I have 9-10 years worth of data on my phone. I mean, it's in the cloud, but still I'm like, whoa, wow, not double digits. Because it comes at you fast. You know, I'm getting closer to 40, and I'm always amazed at the beauty that I was not able to appreciate 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago. And so I have decided the rest of my life, I'm going to appreciate what I have right here, right now. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care that thought, that negative inner critic. I'm going to tell it to shut the fuck up. Girl, I'm not trying to hear that. You are beautiful. You are worthy. You are deserving of great things, period. So I want you to also celebrate your own growth and change, acknowledge the things that you do. And for my perfectionist out there, come real close to the camera. You listening, my perfectionist friends? Listen, if it's easy, it's because you're great. Still celebrate the easy wins. A lot of times we're like, oh, it's easy. I don't want to count that because that was easy. It's easy because of who you are. Just know that somebody out there, it's not that easy for them. Still acknowledge the easy wins. Celebrate the heck out the easy wins because it was easy because you are great. Yeah. All right, y'all. I love you. It's been wonderful. Take our classes, of course, but that's really not what this is about. Whether you come to the studio or not, please work on these things for the month of April. Share this with a friend and be great out there, y'all. Bye.